Since there's already quite a lot of information circulating on the internet about the kits of future characters, I have decided to summarize all that information in this video. Additionally, I will provide a brief explanation of the V4 changes affecting characters in patch 3.1, namely Tribbie and Mydei. So let's start with the V4 changes first. For this update, the changes can be considered quite beneficial for Mydei. His ultimate previously stated that he would recover 10% of his HP after using it, but now this has been increased by 20%, meaning Mydei will have better sustain in battle. Additionally, it has been clarified that Mydei's enhanced skill, Godslayer Begot, will prioritize targets that have already been hit by his ultimate. Since this enhanced skill attacks randomly and automatically, players cannot control it directly. Therefore, it's best to use the ultimate on priority targets that need to be eliminated first. As for his talent, there haven't been any major changes. However, the previous description, which stated that when Mydei's HP exceeds 6000, he would gain additional charge when attacked and receive extra HP recovery, has now been removed. A more notable adjustment comes with Trace 1. Previously, Mydei would not exit Vendetta mode when taking fatal damage as long as he had death proof from his ultimate, allowing him to survive with only 1% HP. However, in V4, a new limitation has been added. This effect can now only occur up to 3 times per battle. This change is not necessarily a huge drawback for Mydei, as from what I have seen in various showcase videos, he rarely dies in battle anyway. For Trace 3, Mydei initially gained up to 48% crit rate when his HP exceeded a certain threshold. In exchange, he gains energy regen and incoming healing bonus by 2.5% and 0.75% respectively. But it's not just his kit that has been adjusted. His eidolons have also undergone some significant changes. His second eidolon, which previously made his enhanced skill an AoE attack, has now been moved to E1. Meanwhile, E4 remains unchanged but has received a small buff. Aside from restoring extra HP when attacked, Mydei will also gain 30% extra crit damage while he still has death proof. So those are the V4 changes for Mydei. What do you guys think? Are you satisfied with these adjustments? Let me know your thoughts. Aside from Mydei, some of Tribbie's skill changes have also sparked quite a bit of controversy. With just one sentence, this update has completely changed the minds of many Honkai style players who were initially planning to pull for her when she releases. The follow-up attack triggered by her talent when an ally uses their ultimate can now only be performed once per character and will reset every time Tribbie uses her own ultimate. This significantly affects synergy with units like Serval, Argenti, and even Facial, making it harder for them to function optimally in the same team as Tribbie. Because of this, it is now highly recommended for players to pull for her signature LC, which fortunately has received a buff also in this version, improving the energy regen Tribbie gains. This adjustment has made Tribbie a support unit that is heavily reliant on her signature, which understandably left many players disappointed. However, just recently a last-minute buff was announced for Tribbie. Now her Trace 3 not only grants 30 energy at the start of the battle, but also restores 1.5 energy every time an enemy is hit by an ally's attack. This means that if there are 5 enemies and an ally performs AoE attack, Tribbie will gain 7.5 energy. This is actually great news, as it makes her less dependent on signature light count now. And with this, she can abuse DDD LC like crazy. Besides the controversial kit adjustments, Tribbie's eidolon have also seen a few changes. Her E2 has been adjusted again, with the additional damage triggered while her ultimate zone is active now increased by 120%. Meanwhile, her E4 now makes all team attacks ignore 18% of the enemy's defense, while her skill duration is active. Lastly, at E6, Tribbie will launch follow-up attack when using her ultimate, and the multiplier for that attack has been massively increased to 729%. Despite the nerfs, I think Tribbie is still worth pulling, especially considered rumors that future in-game content like MOC will feature multiple enemies more frequently. Now let's move on to some kit crumbs for upcoming playable characters. The next rumored character release is Castorice, a 5-star limited quantum unit following the path of remembrance. According to leaks, Castorice will have a mammoth spirit in the form of a dragon that performs AoE attacks, while her own attacks will follow a blast type pattern and scale of max HP. There have also been reports that she will have a special energy mechanic similar to Phainon and Acheron. However, for Castorice, her ultimate can only be activated based on HP changes, meaning that losing or recovering HP will help with her ultimate uptime. Additionally, if Castorice takes a fatal blow, her Memo Spirit will take the hit instead, causing the energy gauge to be reset. This also suggests that a dual DPS setup with Mydei could be a viable team composition to try when Castorice is released. As for her technique, it is rumored that at the start of a battle, she will reduce the HP of all allies while gaining advanced action, allowing her to act earlier. Her Memo Spirit will also receive 100% advanced action, making an attack immediately. Recently, a reliable informant described Castorice's kit as a combination of Bailu, Jingyuan, Blade, and Jingliu. The Bailu comparison suggests that Castorice has a revival mechanic, allowing allies to resurrect after taking fatal damage. However, unlike Bailu's shared revival, Castorice seemingly grants one individual revive per ally. The Jingyuan comparison likely comes from her Memo Spirits, which may behave similarly to Lightning Lord, attacking independently. Meanwhile, the Blade and Jingliu comparison strongly hint at the connection to HP manipulation. Castorice might have a self-healing mechanic based on certain conditions, and as previously mentioned, she can drain the HP of all allies. For now, this is all we know about Castorice's kit Crumbs. There are also whispers that her mechanics are still undergoing changes, so let's just wait until the beta starts to get more details. Aside from Castorice, Anaxa is also rumored to be coming in patch 3.2. He is a 5-star limited win character following the path of erudition. But despite being a erudition unit, his kit leans more toward nihility. This is because he can repeatedly apply AoE weakness implant, essentially making Silver Wolf obsolete in this regard. Anaxa's skill deals AoE win damage with additional random hits. His ultimate attacks all enemies and inflicts them with a special status effect. This status allows additional damage to be dealt with every attack the team makes. However, unlike Robin or Tribbie, this additional damage does not function as a standard buff. Instead, it behaves more like a follow-up attack, but without actually being classified as one. This makes Anaxa a potentially amazing teammate for Herta. On top of that, when using his ultimate, he can delay enemy actions by a certain percentage. What sets Anaxa apart from Silver Wolf is his talent. After hitting an enemy with a basic attack, skill, or ultimate, there is a fixed base chance to apply weakness implant to enemies that currently lack a weakness. His technique also applies weakness implant when entering battle. His Trace 1 converts some of his effect hit rate into crit rate, but recent leaks suggest that he may no longer require effect hit rate at all, making this trace somewhat questionable. If this is true, does this mean Anaxa can now apply a weakness implant with a 100% success rate, bypassing enemies' effect resistance? Another interesting rumor is that Anaxa is an exclusive erudition character, meaning he provides a unique buff to erudition units. However, it does not necessarily require a second erudition character to activate. This could explain why he no longer needs effect hit rate, as this new trace might be replacing the old effect hit rate to crit rate conversion. His trace to increase enemy damage taken based on the number of implanted weaknesses. Once an enemy reaches 7 weakness, Anaxa's skill becomes enhanced whenever he attacks with basic attack or skill. This enhanced skill does not consume skill points, and instead becomes a bouncing attack, thanks to his Trace 3. Which is why Anaxa seems like a perfect sub DPS for the Herta teams. His Nectar Light Cone boosts crit damage, increases enemy vulnerability, and provides energy per wave. However, the big question is whether Anaxa will be SP positive. His signature mentions resolving energy issues, which could indicate a high energy requirement for his ultimate. If he frequently needs to use his skill, SP management in the Herta team could become difficult. Meanwhile, rumors suggest that Mr. Recca might also debut in patch 3.2. He is said to be a remembrance character who serves as a healer, with his basic attack animation featuring film tape as a weapon. However, there is still some debate about whether he will actually be released in 3.2 or delayed further again. Now, what about the next patch? According to leaks, the new character for patch 3.3 will be Cipher and Hyacine. There have been long-standing rumors that Cipher would be a dot DPS unit, but this no longer seems to be the case. Instead, Cipher is expected to be a main DPS, though her element and path are still unknown. The strongest speculation remains Ice Nihility, but nothing is confirmed. As for Hyacine, she is said to be the second remembrance healer in the game after Mr. Recca. While her exact kit details are still unclear, it is safe to assume that she will utilize these planar ornaments that emphasize speed scaling, making her a unit that benefits from high speed stats. Her Memo Spirit takes the form of a white horse, and just from that imagery alone, I can already imagine that her animations will be stunning. For other upcoming characters, their release dates remain uncertain. However, Cyrine is confirmed to have a banner in patch 3.7, marking the end of the Ampharis regions. She will also be a remembrance character. Meanwhile, the release of Phainon is still up in the air, but leaks confirm that he will be a physical element character rumored to have multiple actions per turn. Let's not forget about Hysilens, who is expected to revive the dot playstyle in the game. Her kit is rumored to combine the mechanics of Black Swan and Kafka, meaning she can both stack and detonate dots simultaneously. If you are missing either Kafka or Black Swan, then Hysilens might be your best alternative for a strong dot-based playstyle. So that sums up the V4 changes for Tribbie and Mydei, as well as some kit crumbs for the upcoming playable characters. Which one are you most excited to pull? Let me know in the comments. And please make sure to like and subscribe to support this channel for more videos. I will see you humans in the next video.